The future is now.
Alright, we're back with Behind the Lens Sessions. If you don't know the guy that's sitting in front of the camera today, you're going to learn a little bit about him. It's Manny Strickland, owner and operator of the Midnight Puff. If you don't know, Google it. I promise you, it's worth the look. It's worth the ride. How you doing, brother?
Good. I say first look it up on Facebook and Instagram before Google.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're gonna definitely drop the social medias out there because you know that's the world we live in. That's the wave nowadays. So introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you from?
So my name is Manny Strickland. I lived in Seattle, moved down here about 7 years ago to move closer to the family, and basically with my hometown getting legalized, I said what Chattanooga needs is a legit hookah lounge.
And from what I've heard, I apologize. I have not been on a bus. I have not. I hear about it. I've seen music videos shot on it. I've seen all kinds of advertisement for it. I've just not personally been on the bus, and I'm gonna have to do that. It kind of comes back to what product is in the hookahs on the bus, because you know I don't partake in any extracurriculars. I'll drink socially, smoke me a Black and Mild every once in a while, but
the simple fix.
That's it. That's about it for Ken. I can't handle the other stuff. My biology is not made up for that.
I'd be like, what flavor of birchwood are you smoking on?
Yeah, exactly.
He spoke cigarillos with a flavor.
The grape, man. It's the grape. I'm black. You gotta understand.
Oh my goodness. Watermelon flavor.
I do.
Chicken and waffle flavor.
So tell us about how you came up with the name The Midnight Puff. Where did that come from?
So about 2 years ago, I was a school bus driver, and I just had it with the whole backlash from parents and just the bad kids that be riding the school buses.
Wow.
And when I left, I was like, all right, now I got time to go to my favorite hookah lounge, which was Cloud 9, only to find out that they closed.
Oh.
And I was looking around for hookah. And I wanted to do sort of like an adult job with driving, but I wasn't old enough for Carter. So a year before that, I was like, well, let me buy a bus and try to do like a hookah lounge on a bus. Now here we are.
And it's been 2 years. Wow. I didn't realize Puff has been around for 2 years.
The idea was about 2 years old. We started doing stuff, basically like private parties, from about 9 months ago. So we've been doing this for about 9 months.
Right, and it's just keep getting bigger because every event I've been to, I've seen you there with hookah, catering hookahs.
Or anytime I go into a bar and people ask, oh, you here, Manny? Is the bus outside? And I'm like, no.
Yeah. You're going to expand one of these days. Manny's going to be over here catering, and the bus is going to be over there parked with somebody partying on the bus or driving the city.
Right now, with the catering thing, we have about 2 to 3 events, either house parties or just kind of like more of the business stuff, people trying to throw like a fancy party. So we have that on top of the weekend events we do with the bus.
Okay.
So I got 3 employees, my 2 puff boys and 1 puff girl.
And that's their name.
Yeah, that's what they are.
2 puff boys. See, if I'd have known, I would have had them in on this interview with you, brother. Had them come and sit down and introduce their faces too, because they the workhorse. They the solid behind it. They the putting in the extra work.
Right.
Man, I'm just amazed.
Manny and the Puff Babies.
9 months. It's been going strong. So tell us, what all does the Midnight Puff actually do? Like, is it just a bus that has a table in it, or give us a verbal description of what it looks like so we can visualize.
When people ask me what the Midnight Puff is, usually a lot of people just think it's the bus or the hookah. And what we try to be, and the term we coined is we're a Swiss Army knife of leisurely pleasure.
Ah, okay. Now, if you don't know what a Swiss Army knife is, yeah, Google that, because
Google it, go to your nearest corner store, buy one, they're about $1.
You can do everything with a Swiss Army knife. Legit. It's a survival tool of must.
Gentlemen need to start carrying around the corkscrew that's on it.
Pop a bottle.
Pop a bottle.
So, with the Midnight Puff, I know that I've seen the music interviews done. I mean, music videos shot on it. CD7 and Cinematic. KB Brown.
Yep.
Shout out to them. They will be on the scene. We'll be interviewing them shortly as well.
And they better play Money and Power.
They absolutely will. That I've actually been talking to Cinematic and CD behind the scenes, trying to line up schedules with them, so we can actually sit down and get to know them a little better too. But it is the Midnight Puff more hip hop oriented, or is there anything goes on the bus music wise?
So for anybody that gets on the shuttle, the type of music that we play is something that I try to pick a genre that everybody likes. And when I allowed people to chime in and vote, they were wanting bluegrass, and a lot of people just wanted, heavy R&B or like old school hip hop. But I didn't want to be like Reagan's, so to make it different, we play what's called lo-fi hip hop.
Okay.
So it's the dubstep and the trance that tourists like, and it's got the rap and those elements that people.
The hip hop element to the dubstep. Yeah, I'm a fan of all music. I believe people ask me my music taste, and I may tell them, you might pull up next to me and see me bobbing my head, and think I'm listening to T.I. or 3000, Andre 3000 or something. I may be listening to Khaled. I may be listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers. I may be listening to Nine Inch Nails. You just never know. I may be listening to Fall Out Boy, Uncle Cracker. People don't even know that my music taste palette is just so eclectic because I just love music. And this is where this idea came from for the hip hop.
Right. If you're working in the music industry, you gotta have more than one influence.
You can't be put in a box, and I refuse to be boxed in to any genre. Yes, my channel is basically based around the hip hop culture of Chattanooga, but it also includes the influences of the hip hop. You can't have the hip hop culture without an entrepreneur to help push it. You can't have hip hop culture without a poet. You can't have the hip hop culture without a dancer and a DJ and somebody who owns the venue to allow the hip hop artists to perform. You got to have the whole element, and that's what I consider the culture of hip hop. So that's what we based it on. So back to the Midnight Puff, because I know that you got some big things coming. You pointed at the flyer on the back wall. It's a little bit out of reach. So why don't you grab that down and let's get that up close in the camera so people can see what's coming. What's the next big thing the Midnight Puff has coming? Woo. So if y'all can't see that, Chattanooga first late night hookah shuttle, 27 bars in 1 hour. You're talking about Lyft or Uber. You can get on a bus, on a shuttle, and go to 27 different places for $20.
And what I like is seeing on Facebook people taking that, and there's one guy that's doing a thread on the event that's going to go up, and he's just trying to crunch the numbers, and he's like, wait, there's only 2 minutes and 18 seconds per bar. How are they doing? And it's just funny to read.
Yeah, so he's trying to break down how you're going to hit 27 bars in an hour. I mean, the numbers it's definitely going to come into play, but the cool thing is you have a guaranteed ride from place to place. You ain't got to walk. And if you've been in Chattanooga, if you haven't, come on down and see us. But walking downtown, it's cool when you want to just leisurely walk. But everything isn't close to each other in downtown Chattanooga. Like, you literally can get wore out walking from one place to the other.
And the cool thing is riding the bus, no one's going to come up and ask you for $1.
Man, downtown Chattanooga, I know our environment is different, it's strange. We have homeless just like everywhere else. But our homeless are aggressive, bro. There's a clip on the internet that said, "Give me $1, man." That we got those type of homeless people in Chattanooga, bro. They'll be like, "Hey man," they won't even ask for $1. They'll ask, "Hey man, you got $5?" What?
They bump it up on you.
Yeah, bro. Like, what you got? Why are you asking me for $5? Bro, look, I need to get something to eat. I'll go get you something to eat now.
My girl's staying in the hotel, man, and I'm just trying to get money for a ride to get back over the.
Yeah, who? You got down here somehow.
I need to see a photo.
All right, so we were talking about the shuttle, the first late night shuttle, hookah shuttle. So how does that work? Like, how would I know if I'm not from Chattanooga and I show up and I'm looking for something to get into? I hear about this hookah bus because I've seen people downtown talking about it. How do I find you?
So basically on the Instagram, we are going to post, and it's going to be part of the story. It's going to be the itinerary for the night. So it's going to be a clean, nice white sheet of paper with, at this time, we should be at this bar with 1 to 2 minutes of delay. And so wherever you are at the night, you just have to go on our Instagram, look at it, boom, you'll know where the bus is going to be at. And basically you just hop on, pay $5, get off at the next bar that you wanted to get a drink at.
So if I was downtown walking and I was at, let's say, bar downtown, let's say Hair of the Dog.
All right.
How, if I got on it, I can get on the Instagram, but are you going to have anything that, physical to give out to people on the bus? Like, you know, I mean, we have Carter, obviously,
Yeah.
right? Carter has a bus schedule. Is the shuttles going to have a schedule?
Yeah.
Like a bus schedule for clientele?
And so what we're trying to do is over the next 3 months, we're going to try to hammer down the exact time that we're going to be at some place. And then just hopefully memorization. Other than that, any person that gets on the bus gets a physical copy of the itinerary.
That's dope. So I can come out Friday night, ride the bus, get an itinerary, and be like, shit, what we doing Saturday night? Shit, let's go hit the bus. Yeah,
Right.
$5, get on, go grab a drink downtown. We ain't got to walk. We ain't got to pay to park. Because that's the killer. Man, downtown parking is not friendly at all. Like, it's crazy. I Uber and Lyft in my own city, right? That sounds crazy. But I would much rather sit here at my house, have someone pick me up and drop me off where I'm going,
Right.
and come back and pick me up than to drive and have to circle one-way streets downtown to find a parking space.
But unfortunately, we only one bus, while Uber is thousands of drivers trying
See, you can't get in the Uber and smoke a hookah.
True.
They sure drop you off at the bar and pick you back up and get back on the same one for the same price. Now you got to pay again.
Right. Different driver every time you want to ride. You have no chance of building up a relationship with the business.
Yeah, absolutely. So, keeping with the theme of the channel with the culture, let's talk about Manny and his musical taste. Favorite artist of all time, your personal favorite?
My personal favorite artist is Otis Redding.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That is quite shocking. Like, I would have never. I've seen something alternative, maybe not so much hardcore hip hop, but Otis Redding.
Yeah, next would have been AT Aliens, but that's another story.
See, and bro, you just won my heart. Bro. I'm from Chat, but I was raised in Atlanta, so Outkast is all through me.
Right.
You know, that's just who I grew up listening to. That's pretty dope. So why Otis Redding?
Growing up, when I wanted to actually do music, it was going to be jazz, contemporary jazz, part of a big band or whatnot. And so I grew up learning about the saxophone, and I learned saxophone, or the secret.
You can vote.
And I just wanted to find an artist that actually has like the weird vocal way that I like to sing in the shower, and I was like, oh yes, shouting with jazz music behind me.
Shouting with jazz. You
try a little tenderness.
you may want to try that, because that's a whole different lane for the wave of music that's out right now.
And so bus number 2, the big bus that's going to be doing the shuttle is called 66 votes. They called it the Magic School Bus, because it's trying to do 27 bars in 1 hour.
Okay.
The second smaller bus is actually going to be the second part of the shuttle route. It's called the Puff Daddy, and it is a jazz and cigar bar inside a little.
So we expanding from
Yep.
hookah. Okay. That's actually pretty genius.
Yep, looking at a potential partnership with Cigars for Gents and Chattanooga Cigar Club.
Word.
So-
Hey, that's the second time Mark Franklin name is a brand has popped up. Shout out to Mark. we actually rock pretty tough with Mark Franco, who's what they call him, and Cigar for Gents. That some dope guys. I seen a lady rolling cigars, and I was like, she's literally making these cigars right here in front of me. Okay, but I can't get into them. I would love to be able to smoke a cigar. Franco has tried giving me some insight, like the lighter the wrap, pair it with white. The darker the wrap, you pair it with brown. And I was like, okay, well, I'm more of a brown drinker now, so I guess I need to get a dark cigar. He was like, yeah, you come out to the event, I'll take care of it. I'll pair it up nice for you, let you try it. I'm like, okay, so maybe I can do that with the Puff Daddy.
All right.
Sounds like a good plan out to me. So we're talking music. If you had to pick an artist that you could bring back to life and have a conversation with, who would it be and why?
Man, if I could bring back an artist, is Stevie Wonder still alive?
Yeah. Yes. Stevie's still here.
Darn, that was like a cop-out answer. It would probably be Michael Jackson.
But why?
Just because I just wanted to know how he viewed the world from, I wouldn't say a pedestal, but from a higher perspective than I think I'm capable of.
I wouldn't shoot you down, brother. You on a high trajectory, man. I mean, to not be from Chattanooga, but to be so well known in Chattanooga already, you're on that trajectory, and that's what this platform is for, is to help push that envelope even more. But I could see sitting down talking to Mike. I'd be scared to talk to Mike though, personally. Michael's a little weird, so Mike might want to touch me or something. I don't know if Mike would be okay with me punching him. So, I don't know. I don't know if I was in a group, I would talk to Mike. So I had witnesses.
Oh.
But I couldn't go like to Never Land and talk to
Oh, man.
No, I just couldn't do it.
Don't you want to be taught the best way to do the tea?
Bruh, I would love to like sit down and pick his brain, but it would have to be in a group setting.
Okay.
There's no way I would, because...
Have you seen the Teddy episode of Atlanta, season 2?
No, I have not.
Oh my gosh. That episode is a parallel to the relationship between Michael Jackson and his father. And it's just
I got to go
funny.
See, this is what happens. I get so wrapped up in everything else. I don't get to watch my shows. We were talking earlier before we started. My fiance watches the weirdest stuff in the world. And I get caught up in it and I end up wanting to watch it. So, plug, shameless. The show Dynasty has got me hooked. If y'all don't know, just go look. I can't even describe it. It's a lot of nutsy stuff happening already, and it's just like 4 episodes in. It's crazy. Back to this interview, because I'll get on a tangent and start talking about TV shows. As far as it goes, back to Mike, talking about Mike. He was one of those influencers, like you said, from a pedestal, or looking at from a higher perspective. I think Mike achieved the highest that we'll see any artist ever get, because he was damn near untouchable. Prince almost got there. Like, Prince was like maybe a hair behind him, but those two guys, if you mention them, they influence just about every genre of music that you can think of. If you listen to music at all, there's some type of influence from those guys.
Right.
But more about Manny. What do you have planned besides this show? What big things or ideas you got coming next?
So for the last 2 months, I demoed what I wanted to do alongside the Midnight Puff. So back to what I said about the Midnight Puff being a Swiss Army knife of leisurely pleasure. The other thing we have is called the Nude Formula. And we've done about 3 events. Yeah. And basically what it was is each event for the Nude Formula deals with a kink. So basically we put all 5 senses on the dartboard, throw 2 darts, whatever hits, mix it together. And so for the first one, it was visual and touch. And so what we came up with was basically a nude painting thing. I have my cousin down in Atlanta, Jasmine, who runs the successful Booze and Nudes. Okay. And what I wanted to do was take that idea and kind of introduce Chattanooga to it, but also introduce future different types of flavors of events. Now, to name something, you can only use 2 syllables in the law, the unspoken law of naming something. More than 2, it doesn't roll off the tongue.
Flaming hot Cheeto dust is too long.
Cheeto dust.
Just Cheeto dust. Okay.
Sweet cigar. Peach passion. Berry blast. All my flavors just...
Yeah, that actually makes sense. This kind of goes back to what's memorable. It's easy to remember. It's not complicated.
People get on, they look. What's berry blast? Oh, okay. I guess it's something with berries.
It's got something with berries to do with it. Okay, sounds good to me. So we're talking about the expansion of the business. We're talking about some music. We actually got a little bit deeper and found out Otis Redding, Michael Jackson would be the person you would want to sit down and talk to.
Shout out to Drake for sampling Try a Little Tenderness.
Hey, bruh, see, that's how I know you're a real musiker. Because most people don't even know that sample,
right,
what that sample is or where it even comes from. They think it's something brand new. Most of the music that you hear in the world we live in today is sampled from something, and it's not recent. It's like 50, 60 years old that they're bringing back and sampling into
Shoot, in the book, Stealing Like an Artist, all the masterpieces have already been made, so why not put 2 together and throw a new spin on it?
Put your own spin. That's what the hip-hop culture has done. It literally has been that. It's find what you like in the culture and put your own spin to it. Whether you merge someone's styles, their flow, their look, the delivery. I mean, it's just the whole aspect of making music is based on influence. And where your style comes from.
And when people start sampling the samples of other songs, eventually we'll just get the perfect hip hop song.
Or the perfect hookah flavor.
Oh my god. Berry blast, perfect hookah flavor.
So, in the spirit of talking about, merging things and how things are kind of recycled in a sense, with the hookah flavors, how do you come up with your flavors? Do you make your own flavors or do you purchase them?
So I started out trying to run it like a business, where I was like making sure that I wasn't looking at where I'm spending the most money, and a lot of it was just overpaying for shisha that eventually, if I don't use it all up in a month, it kind of goes bad, or so the flavor starts weakening. And so I was like, well, let me just save a lot of money by just learning to make it myself, and it has been a process. Just imagine me in the lab with the test tubes.
Yeah, I can. That's exactly what I seen. It's like you with this wet tobacco and oils or extracts, trying to find a right balance of. Now that's a little too strong. That's a little too weak. I don't taste nothing. I don't think I would have the mental capacity to sit down and try to work that equation out. Like, I have a friend who makes vape juice, and I was like, dude, there's no way. There's no way. This much nicotine and this much glycerin and this much flavor. What the hell are you talking about? Just give me something that tastes good.
Right. Don't tell me how it's made. Just
tell me how to make it, how to smoke it, it tastes good.
When I started out, before the bus was ready to go out, I was doing hookah catering at Spot Venue for a lot of events. Shout out to Hip Hop Cha for starting that.
Yeah.
And when I started testing how to make my own shisha, I was like, well, instead of going weak, let me go strong. But eventually it turned into, at events, you would see people order a hookah, then you look over and they're just slowly
just start to pass
out at the club. And I was like, maybe we should dial it back a little bit.
Take out the itis off the hookah. That's pretty dope, though. So tell me something that most people don't know about you, Manny.
That they don't know about me? Well, on weekends, I like to dress in drag and go to Allen Gold's. Not really, that was a joke.
I was like, wow, whoa, yeah, I didn't expect that. That came way out of left field. And if it was true, I would probably go show up and watch the show.
Anyway, random fact about me is that I went to UTC. I was a junior before I stopped and wanted to focus on self-preservation through business. I went to school for mechanical engineering with a minor in branding and marketing.
Mechanical engineering. Jesus Christ, man. You are definitely a onion. I'd like to describe people as onion because there's a fucking layers and layers and layers.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, do I smell bad?
No, man. Like,
do I make people cry?
You think about, yeah, you make people cry. You start talking about all the stuff you've accomplished, and people like, man, I should have, I could have. And then you meet that onion, and you're like, damn, this guy does this, and you peel back the next layer, and he does that, and you peel back the next layer, and you got this, and it still keeps going.
Yep.
Like, we've found all kind of stuff.
For all the things I'm trying to do, I gotta just keep learning.
The best way to go about it. So we're gonna wrap this down. Tell everybody where they can follow you, keep up with you, and tell me what you got coming next. What's right around the corner.
So on Facebook, all you gotta type in is the Midnight Puff. Usually the first thing that pops up, hopefully. And on Instagram, we're at Midnight Puff. So basically, give it a follow, give it a like, subscribe. Stay tuned.
That's what we like to hear. We out of here.